following is an encore presentation of stories from the Dooralong Transformation Centre. Here on 94.9, Riemann Central Coast, as I said just before the news. We're talking to Dean from the Dooralong Transformation Centre this morning, so good morning to you, Dean.
How are you, Phil?
I'm very well. How's life at Dooralong? Is it getting cold first thing in the morning now?
It's starting to get a bit fresh, yeah.
Yeah,
But-
what do you call fresh? The -8 or something?
Oh, no, not yet. I don't really like the cold.
You know, you're not a cold person? No. I am, you see, so, but I think even liking the cold, I think it might be a bit too cool in Dooralong during the winter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How long have you been at Dooralong now, Dean?
Just over 3.5 months this
Yeah.
time. I was there 8 months last year.
You were there 8 months last year.
Yep.
You obviously had a bit of a relapse and
Yeah.
a bit of a hiccup.
Had to go out and do some more research, as they say.
Yeah, so you're coming back and is there a difference now?
Yeah, very much.
What's the difference?
Doing it for myself, there's no, not in hope of rekindling in relationships or we're getting, back into my kids' lives and having a family and that sort of thing again.
So that was perhaps part of the motivation last time, was it?
Yeah, there was, part of.
Yeah.
Part of.
But you've accepted
Yeah.
that that's not going to happen?
Yeah, definitely.
And so you're just doing it for yourself?
Yeah, have to change.
And it feels different, does it?
It definitely does. It definitely
Yeah.
does. I was sort of cutting corners before, trying to get through it as quickly as I could.
Yeah.
Keeping my own will.
Yes. Pride.
Yeah. Not doing all the suggested things, and I relapsed.
Yeah. And doing it for yourself is probably the best motivation that there can be, because you don't want to live your life in addiction. You just want to have a good life for yourself. You're important. You
have to do it for yourself.
Exactly
Definitely.
right. Yeah. Now, Dean and I were chatting whilst the news was on and the music was on, and he was telling me that drugs they've been a big part of your life, haven't they, Dean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Starting at a very early age.
Yep.
Yeah. You were telling me that even at high school you were doing drugs.
Yeah, dealing drugs and...
Dealing drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, where do you get the drugs from at such a young age?
It's so readily available.
Is that right?
Yeah. It was only marijuana, which we don't think was bad back then. Well,
no.
But it definitely is like a gateway drug that leads to other things.
Because there's a lot of controversy about that, isn't there? There are some people and some countries, I think, that have gone down the road of legalising marijuana, saying it's no worse than sort of smoking or drinking, and others sort of drug counsellors and the like saying no, like you just said, they say it's a gateway.
Yeah.
What's your view as a user?
Well, it didn't seem it was all fun and games, a bit of a giggle, that sort of thing. But as an addict, looking back, it definitely was very much a gateway drug. It's like, pick up a cigarette for the first time, it's sort of, oh, this is naughty. And then, you pick up the pot, oh, this is naughty. It desensitises you to trying other things.
Yeah, it's a stepping stone to something a lot more dangerous.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So you were dealing in school, selling it to other school people.
Yep.
And you told me an interesting fact about your mathematical and arithmetical ability. What did dealing do for you? I mean, it's not recommended, of course, but...
Well, at school I was not very academic at all. Maths, as soon as letters started coming in, algebra and anything, I was lost.
Yeah.
So I wasn't very good at school, but my maths I'm very good at.
Yeah.
And that's where I learned it.
You were cutting deals all day.
Yeah.
You knew how much change to give. And
working out percentages and different things, yeah.
Mental arithmetic.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so that was part at school, but obviously, and I've talked to Dean, so I know, but it didn't remain just that sort of initial sort of marijuana. It morphed into something a lot more serious, didn't it?
Yeah, towards the end, started going towards acid and a bit of speed.
Yeah.
And a lot of drinking as well.
Yeah. But you, in your own mind, still thinking, I've got this under control, I can cope with all this?
It was never even an issue. You'd look at you'd think was an addict, and it'd be someone, scattered out on the street, injecting drugs, and that marijuana we didn't even class as. It was just all fun and games for years.
So that's right. So that's not me, therefore I'm not an addict.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Simple as
suppose
that.
didn't even come up as a
Yeah.
as a thought.
And no mates trying to pull you back into line, no family members saying, Dean, do something, mate.
My mother, she's
Your
she's always been there.
Yeah.
You know. She's always had God, definitely, and she's always been there as support, never judged. But yeah, she'd mentioned a few
So
times.
she could see what was happening for
Well, it
you.
wasn't her son, I suppose. It
You
was
were-
changing.
Yeah. That would be such a hard thing for a parent to sort of watch the love of their life sort of being changed in a bad way by drugs, but feeling helpless and not being able to do anything about it.
Well, I think about it now with my own kids.
Yeah.
I would hate for them to go through what I've been through in my life.
Yeah. And we'll talk later about how you hope to sort of help young kids who are sort of at that very impressionable age, but we'll come into that later. Now, you started on the marijuana, as you say, and then it sort of graduated to sort of speed and that sort of thing, and drink and alcohol. But it eventually ended up with you on perhaps one of the hardest drugs, that was ice. How did that happen?
Just up in Lightning Bridge, just through just partying really, I guess, and
Yeah.
speed, and then ice turned up, and I was only snorting it for a long time. Needles were my biggest phobia, but yeah, that ended up being my way to do it.
And can you confirm, well, I think other guys have told us from Dooralong that was in a different league when you sort of start taking ice?
Yeah, it takes away the pain, definitely gives you confidence. It's sort of feels like everything you want, you've got it at your fingertips.
For a little while.
For a little while.
Yeah.
And you lose your jobs and
And your relationships.
everything.
And your
Absolutely
self-respect,
everything.
I suppose.
Oh, mate, you can't even look at yourself. You don't even know what you've become anymore. The crime, yeah, the things you do to get it or keep going, the people that you've harmed, like dealing.
So you're aware of this at the time that you're taking the drug. You're aware that it's not just messing your life up, but it's messing up the life of those people that you love the most.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter. You're looking for that next hit to take away the pain. You don't want to, mental pain. You don't want to face reality.
Yeah.
You really don't. It gets to the point that is your reality.
It is the single most important thing in your life above
Yeah.
relationships and self-respect and everything.
Yeah.
You've got to have that next fix.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter being homeless on the street or anything. You get that hit, you're right.
You've got to have it.
Yeah, yep,
Yeah, it's powerful, isn't it?
it is.
Yeah. You were telling me also that you were addicted for a little while to sort of pain relieving meds. How did all that happen?
Well, I had an injury and bust my neck at work. Ended up on pain meds.
Yeah.
Learned to walk again properly and like hydropool and that sort of stuff. The pain meds took away the pain, and alcohol was very much involved then as well. Took over, sort of lost my family. And I ended up in Miracle Haven, which is through the Salvation Army.
And taking painkillers, it doesn't seem like you're doing anything wrong, because you're probably getting these from a doctor who we trust.
Yeah. Never thought I was a junkie or a drug addict by taking tablets.
No.
And I knew I was taking too much.
Yeah.
I'd get to the point I'd crush 10 up and just snort them. So
Yeah.
I wasn't going to OD with them in my stomach, that kind
Right.
of thing.
Yeah.
But still in your head, it's kind of, I was from a doctor, so I'm not an addict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you see the doctor, you sort of impress upon him or her, then I need more painkillers. I
Yeah,
need more
and then your
painkillers.
doctor shop, you go to different doctors, getting more and more.
Yeah.
But there's a book that changed my life that I read, and it was The Wolf of Wall Street by Jordan Belfort.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I related to him big time. And as soon as I finished that book, I took myself to my first AA meeting.
That's unusual, that a book, a sort of, and it was made into a film, I think, as well,
Yeah,
isn't it? The
yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street. And all these sort of high-wheeling dealers in financial world,
Yeah.
how they're addicted to all these things as well.
Yeah,
Sounds as if it had a big impression on you.
it did. Definitely did, yeah. And I don't even really read. It was just, I think God placed that in my path to pick that book up and start.
One of the
Just
stepping
grab me.
stones to getting to Dooralong, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
So you read the book and then you thought, through the book, hang on, this is me I'm
Yeah.
reading about.
Yep. yeah.
And
I
then
could
you
see
went to
how
Miracle Haven.
Yeah, yeah.
How long ago was that, Dean?
About 8 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, and I found God, and so I got the physical and the spiritual side of things.
Yeah.
Out there. I got my family back.
Yeah.
Which was great. But I didn't work on myself. You know, we find a lot of the drug use and alcohol and that are things that we're wrong inside of us, that they're sort of a byproduct of not facing that
they're
reality.
a symptom of something that's sort of emotionally or you haven't dealt with stuff deep down inside you.
Yeah. So after about 18 months, I went back to Lightning Ridge and sort of set up Narcotics Anonymous up there, and sort of got that going because it was needed.
Because you sound as if you're on a good path now. You're setting up Narcotics Anonymous. You've tried to get yourself clean. You've been to Miracle Haven.
Yeah,
it looks like Dean's turned his life around.
Yeah, I was on fire. I was running a friend's business, second-hand yard. I missed 2 NA meetings and two church chapel services.
Yeah.
And all it took was one mouthful of alcohol. And then it was a can, next day a 6-pack. Next, going out to meet a girlfriend's father, who was the biggest speed dealer in the area, and started snorting that, and
so all that
everything was gone.
Yeah. And it happened that quickly? One drink?
Yeah, pretty much. I can look back now as that was the turning point. But
did you know as you picked up that drink and put it to your lips that this was probably not going to end well?
No.
You thought, I've beaten it?
Well, the addiction, it plays on you in all sorts of ways. It'll come in every angle, you know. Like,
it speaks to you and tries to trick you, and like you've got it covered. You're okay now. You can just have one and stop. It'll be fine.
Yep. So. And
the next day.
Yep. Next I was smoking pot again and out there doing speed, and
back to square one.
And then back to then to the ice.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a tale a lot of people can identify with, and it's also taking it out of the drug area and all the rest of it. We all struggle with stuff in our lives, and you know, sometimes pride gets in the way. Whatever our particular thing is, we think we've got it beaten, we're on top of it, and we get that little bit of pride, and then we just fall. And you know, it talks about it in the Bible, doesn't it, about pride going before a fall.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, Dean, well, the time is 26 and a half minutes past 10, talking to Dean this morning from Dooralong. Dean got it bad, ended up being addicted to alcohol, to pain meds, to ice, having started through marijuana. It was all going pear-shaped, but he wasn't left in that state. You first came to Dooralong 8 months ago, didn't you? And we
last year,
and we were talking about how it didn't work for you the first time around because your motivation was probably not where it should have been.
Well, not only that, self-willed as well. You know, I was cutting corners, having little cigarettes at a time, come out on the weekend, have a little drink here and there, thinking, I can drink still. You know, my primary was ice, and but as I say, you might get away with it, but you don't get away with it. Yeah. You know, I was going back, they didn't know. There was drinking on the weekends, and then next I was doing the ice again, and I'm the one that definitely suffered for it. But
this time round, Dean's doing it proper.
Yeah.
And for himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're doing all the therapy, the group work, of course, which has to be done as part of that sort of battle against addiction. But they've also got all those other life lessons, don't they, that they have these courses on down at Dooralong?
Yeah, gambling, mindfulness, anger management, alpha, which is life-changing.
Yeah, you talked about your relationship with church and with God. How is that relationship with God at the moment?
Good.
It's
very
good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
You felt that he led you to Dooralong. He perhaps even put that, was it the Wolf of Wall Street?
It's the only thing that's always been there. You know, he's never turned his back on me. It's me turning my back on him.
Yeah.
And having that belief and knowing that everything I've been through and where I am today was already you know, there's a reason I am where I am.
Yeah. I was reading somewhere that there is a name for it. I think it's prevenient. I'm not sure. It's how God can actually act in our lives before we even become Christians.
Yeah.
So he can put that book into your hands. He can sort of put that person in your pathway. Yeah. He can make that person sit next to you on the train. Even before you've accepted Christ, he can be working in your life, and you can testify to that.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So you have a church that you go to. You were telling me it's Bonnells Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you've been doing something pretty special with Bonnells Bay Church, which is, you call it your home church, don't you?
Home church on Monday nights is what we go to.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. So is that like a small group sort of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. And with your small group, with your home group, you've done something pretty good at one of the local high schools. Tell us about that.
Through home church, we do random acts of kindness and helping others everywhere. At present, we're sort of going to schools and talking about giving our testimony.
Yes.
Just to open their eyes, you know, and hopefully change.
Yeah. So this is high schools?
Yeah. Yeah, year 10.
Year 10, that impressionable age.
Yeah.
So what's that like? You know, you're getting a bunch of year 10 students there, perhaps not wanting to be there and thinking they've heard it all before, and then Dean appears.
It's very self-rewarding, I suppose.
Fulfilling,
Yeah. Having the attention of them kids, you know, at first they're just mucking around. You can see who the cool kids are. And
they're on the back row messing around and making jokes.
Yeah, well, I was there.
Oh, you were there, yeah.
In the past, you know, and as I said to them, I was sitting there, I had hopes and dreams. I never dreamt of growing up to be a junkie.
Yeah.
And it really impacted a lot of the kids.
So what do? You just tell them about your life story and tell them really what we were talking about just before that last track of music, how drugs really messed up your life.
Oh yeah. Took everything.
Yeah.
Everything from me.
How do they react?
There's a bit of a shock value to it. We even have some kids come up crying, saying that one of their parents is in the ice or drugs, and and that's really touches your heart, you know, like and it makes you look at yourself as well as to how I've affected my family, my friends, and that kind of stuff. And they're at a very vulnerable age. They're experimenting. They're trying different things at that age, and
because it's cool.
Well, it is.
And there's peer pressure, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's only marijuana, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Everybody else is doing it.
Yeah. But these days, you know, when I was at school, it was mostly marijuana. These days, it's ice.
Even in schools?
Oh, yeah. Yep, definitely. You can see by the look on the faces of different ones, like who's
you can
dabbling with the drugs as soon as it's mentioned,
Yeah. And you have a credibility of thinking, being able to speak to high school students that I certainly wouldn't have, and other people wouldn't have, and who haven't had your lived experience. But when you talk about, you know, the despair, the misery, the self-loathing that comes with it all, you know, you have that lived experience to tell them that they have to listen to you.
Well, it's part of my step work and that as well. I mean, I've been through that much that it's not for no reason at all, and it is part of giving back, back to community that I've taken so much from. You know, like them kids are sitting there, and it's probably their parents I've sold drugs to or hurt as well. You know,
so it impacts you. It's a two-way sort of.
Definitely.
You're learning from it and sort of getting greater insights into what you did when you were growing up.
Yeah, and giving back's essential. It's part of it. And it's part of my healing as well. You know, you do get a lot out of telling your testimony.
Is this something you would like to develop?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
That's a great thing. That's Bonnells Bay, the small group, the home church group that you go to.
Yep.
Going into the local high schools, giving talks to the year 10 pupils.
Yeah, and there's other acts of kindness that they do, and helping people in their properties and sort of fixing up when they're, you know, destitute, and see, you know, tears of joy coming down someone's face, and you've just turned up.
Just to decorate or do a bit of painting, or whatever it might be.
Yeah, blitz the place, and then you just leave, and they're just you know, shocked, and that's that feeling you get, you can't buy it.
Better than drugs?
Oh, definitely. And you don't expect anything for it. You're just there, you do it, you're gone.
Yeah.
But you know you've changed someone's life.
And you've also put a smile on the face of Jesus as well when you do. I think he looks down and smiles and thinks, "Oh,
Yeah.
good. I'm glad you did that."
Yeah,
That's
it's one of the
terrific.
moments you get touched by the Holy Spirit. You
Yeah.
feel it all over you.
Yeah, that's right. So it sounds as if your faith is now a real important part of your life.
Definitely. Yeah.
So, and will continue to be so.
Yeah.
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 You've been transformed.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm still in the process, yes.
Still in a process.
But with God's guidance and direction, I can't go wrong.
No. And you say you've done the Alpha course down at...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that was excellent. I'm going to do it again.
Is that right? You're going
Yeah.
to do it a second time?
Yeah.
Enjoyed it so much?
Yeah, most of the REG groups out there as well that we have, like mindfulness, anger management, different things,
Yeah.
I'll do more than once, definitely, because you get so much from it.
Yeah. Have you done mindfulness? I'm not sure we spoke to anybody that's done the mindfulness course yet.
I've started doing it again now.
You just started doing it? Yeah. How's that going? Because I've heard people say, it's very hard for me to just sort of still my brain and still my thoughts. Just going at 100 miles an hour in the fast lane, and so mindfulness may not be for me. But
well, it is very hard. It's like any muscle, I suppose. It's you've got to keep working and strengthen it.
Yeah.
Everyone's mind just goes off and wanders, and you just bring it back on track. And luckily, it's been something I've been doing for years. Before I go to bed, I'll listen to mindfulness recordings and different things to guide it. And it is quite hard, but it's becoming a lot easier these days.
A lot of life skills they teach you out at Dooralong.
Yeah.
They do fantastic work. What do you think of the Salvos? You must have a great respect for them.
They saved my life.
Yeah. Literally?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can see with the smile on my face, as soon as you mentioned Salvation Army, I lit up. They are truly a gift from God.
Yeah. And we were talking earlier about the way they welcomed you back for the second time without any sort of shaking of the head and here, back again sort of thing.
No, it's more glad to see you back, which is kind of, well, I'm not glad, to be back because I've obviously busted, but no, the open arms, no judgment.
Yeah.
And they know you're running the ball up, you want to change, and they can see that, and a lot of people don't get it the first time either.
No.
But as long as you don't give up on yourself as well, I mean, they'll never give up on you. But, yeah.
And for some people, it's not going to be got the first time round, and so to think upon it as failure is probably wrong. It's just another stepping stone to eventually recovery.
Well, when I sort of busted and was out after 8 months last year, and I was out for about 3 months, it was sort of like, I've wasted 8 months, I've blown it all, and that beating yourself up again kind of stuff comes into it, and I used heavily while I was out as well, but it definitely wasn't a waste because I got so much out of it.
Did you ever have thoughts of, I just can't go back there, I've let them down?
Oh mate, it's very hard walking back through them gates. Just the, and it's your pride really holding you back, you're thinking you're going to be judged and it's shameful, and there's a lot of guilt, shame and guilt, like...
I failed.
Well, I failed them as well, you feel, because all the help and everything you've gotten to be cheating it behind the scenes, and then, you just feel you've let them down, then the community down, because we all hold each other up and support out there,
Yes.
The people in there, you can't get that out in the street every day, so many people, or everyone would love the opportunity to be able to go into a place like that and help themselves, take time out and help themselves.
Yeah.
But the people in there are real.
Yes.
They are. And at first you're a bit, wary. It's like someone's smiling and asking how you are. It's like, what do they want?
Yeah. What's in it for them?
Well, you're conditioned from the street, I suppose, and the outside.
Yeah.
But it's genuine.
Yeah.
Everyone picks each other up. You get a pat on the back where your self-esteem and your motivation, everything is just so low of yourself. To get that is just unbelievable.
Priceless.
Yeah.
And the Salvos welcome you back time and again. It's just a reminder that we have a God of second, third, fourth, fifth chances. It's something we all have to go back to God and say, look, God, I've stuffed up again. I'm so sorry, but I'm trying, but it's hard.
Yeah.
It's coming up to 11:15. We're still talking to Dean, who's in the studio with us, and we've been learning about his relationship and his journey and his faith in God, which is strong, which is excellent. Some of the great work he's been doing with his home church group, going into sort of local high schools and talking to year 10 pupils and sort of telling them what's in store for them if they carry on down that pathway of drug taking, what it can lead to. So if you can just turn around one life, that would be so rewarding and fulfilling for you. And you probably won't know, will you?
No.
Because they'll have taken away that message, they'll be thinking about it, and if they might just say no, whereas previously they would have said yes, and a life's been saved.
Even the ripple effect from that, their families or friends that they see in addiction. Hopefully.
You just don't know.
Change, yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, you've been at Dooralong sort of 3.5 months now, so it's probably a little bit early to be making plans, and anyway, we'll perhaps leave that to God. But have you any dreams for the future? What would you like to do as far as careers and things like that are concerned?
Probably get back into the mining sector.
Yeah.
But as you said, it's in God's hands. I really don't know. I want to be able to connect with people, and speak about addiction, and help people where I can.
More of that type of thing that you did in the high school with youth clubs and PCYCs and things like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Terrific. And also, you were just telling me that you're going to be busy on behalf of the Salvos quite soon. They got their Red Shield appeal. Yeah. So, have you helped out on that before, or is this the first time?
Yes.
Yeah. What's people's attitude when you're out, with those big buckets on the Red Shield appeal? And most people
are very, very accepting. They give what they can.
Yeah.
They really, Salvos carry a good name. They're recognised as ones that help. Yeah.
Such a lot of goodwill because, they don't just do the great work at Dooralong, but they have financial counselling, relationship
which
counselling.
I've used as well.
Yeah.
And it's helped a lot.
Yeah.
And every cent does go back.
Yeah.
It's a big part of our community at Dooralong.
Yeah.
That helps addicts and people recover.
Yeah. And the bushfires and the floods, the Salvos are first on the ground.
Always there.
Aren't they?
Yep.
They're terrific. Yeah.
And a lot of the time they're not paid or anything. It's just very selfless, God-driven people.
Yeah, I'm sure nobody chooses the Salvation Army as a career move, thinking they're going to end up with a
fame and fortune.
Yeah, big detached house and a boat in the driveway. It's not going to help. It's not going to work, is it?
No, the workers out there, they could be anywhere earning decent money, good money, I suppose.
Yeah, a lot more money in the private sector, I'm sure.
Yeah. There's so much talent out there, but the workers and management. But they're definitely storing up their gifts in heaven, their riches in heaven rather than here.
What are you doing out at Dooralong? What's your particular job?
I've moved on to maintenance now.
Moved on to maintenance?
Yeah.
Out in the fresh air?
Yeah.
That suits you?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, you're an outside person?
Yeah,
that's good. Are there any people you'd like to give a shout out to? Any particular people that have really sort of stood out as, they've made a difference in my life?
I've got to have a little shout out to the Tambiambi Swamp Monsters. It's a Christian.
What on earth, the Swamp Monsters?
They're a Christian soccer club.
Right.
Yeah,
good game.
It's a round robin of different Christian
it's like a Christian
churches,
sort of league?
Yeah.
So do you play for them?
No.
But you just got good mates there?
Yeah. A few of the boys from Dooralong formed a team up.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, with Michael, the chef, and I'd like to thank the Long Riders. They're at Heatherbray. They're a Christian motorcycle club. They put on an awesome do last night for us. They take us into the clubhouse.
Is this at Dooralong?
They take the Dooralong boys up to there at Heatherbray.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, and every...
On the back of the bikes?
No, we go up in the buses, but they open the clubhouse and give a great sermon. They put on a great dinner, so they feed the body and the spirit.
Yeah. What's the name of that club again?
Long Riders.
Long Riders.
Yeah, they're all around Australia.
Heatherbray.
Yeah. So, thanks to Roscoe and Peter.
Yeah.
And also, yes, the home church, Ida Marty, Viv.
Yeah. It sounds as if
Dave,
you make real relationships and real friendships that are probably going to last long beyond you sort of leaving Dooralong, I think.
Well, it is real too, as I was saying before. No one wants you for anything or wants to take anything from you. They accept you for who you are.
Yeah.
And it's real relationships that are formed, and we need that for outside to have them positive connections.
Yeah. And we were talking to somebody a few weeks ago, and we were sort of reflecting on this concept of family and what it means when we talk about having our own church family. What does it mean to you to have this now that you've got it? What does it mean to have your own church family at Bonnells Bay?
It's priceless.
Priceless.
It's the family you've chosen. Well, it's chosen you as well.
Yeah.
You know, the support network, the real friendships,
and the acceptance, and
you're accepted for who you are and where you're from.
Yeah.
And God is very present there.
Yeah.
You feel the Holy Spirit a lot of the time.
Yeah. And once you leave Dooralong, it sounds as if church is going to continue to be an important part of your life.
It has to be.
It has to be.
Part of my recovery.
It's part of your recovery.
Yeah, and doing meetings on the outside as well.
Yeah. Hey Dean, it's been great talking to you. You're doing some fantastic work. It's been a bit of a bumpy road for you with a few sort of false starts, but you're doing it for yourself, which is a great motivation. You're also giving back, and I think what you're doing in the schools and talking to the kids there, that's just, that's terrific. That is life-changing for them.
Yeah, well thanks Phil. And I'd just like to say I love you, Mum. I know you're out there listening.
Oh, is Mum out there listening?
She certainly is.
Yeah, she must be proud of her son now.
I hope I can make her proud.
Yeah. She stood by you through all the bad times.
Everything.
That's what mums do, isn't it?
Yeah. Never judged. Never. She's always been there.
Yeah. Bit of a rock in your life.
Well, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So well done, Mum.
Yeah. Love you, Mum.
Okay. Thanks so much, Dean. And you guys out of Dooralong have a great night tonight. I know it's chapel night, and actually one of our guests that we spoke to a little time ago is actually graduating this evening, and he's actually he was acting a chauffeur today. Brought Dean in. I've forgotten your name. Tim.
Yeah.
Tim we spoke to a little while ago. He's now finished his time at Dooralong. He graduates tonight, and then he's going to go back there as a mentor. Isn't that right, Tim?
Yeah, that's correct.
He'd be a great mentor.
And he'll be a great mentor as well. So
he's a great man.
It's great to see somebody that we've interviewed and spoken to is now sort of graduating the course and is giving a bit back. He's been accepted as a mentor at Dooralong, so he'll be sort of coming alongside some of the new guys and seeing them through those first few challenging weeks. So well done to Tim, and we hope he and the rest of you guys have a great night tonight at the chapel service. You've been listening to an encore presentation of the Dooralong Stories, which can be heard live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. and repeated 8 p.m. Sunday and 1 a.m. Wednesday, right here on 94.9 Rima.cc.